that way. I want you to turn. Yeah, I want you to try your space there.
Full area, full size, open
whole club is revitalised by it. It's a fantastic opportunity for us. And as the first team squad, we're taking a little bit of time off from the end of the league endeavours, and we met up again the other day, and that break's really given us the time to focus on it. And in the first instance, we weren't certain about that. The break's never great, but it's actually worked in our favour, and the girls, because it's in isolation, are so buzzed up about it. It's fantastic.
Hi, I'm Ness Hawkins, captain of the first team, and I play for Leicester. Been working really hard over the past few weeks on our fitness, so I'm really looking forward to the start of the tournament. Yeah.
I'm Josie Vidal and I play fullback and I play for Leicester.
And are you looking forward to the tournament?
Massively. It's a huge privilege to have the Europeans here at Loughborough University, and we're out there to win that gold, really.
I'm Kerry Williams, I play centre midfield and I play for the Puckers. Super excited. I think every time you get an opportunity to play in Europe, it's amazing. It's like the Champions League of football, but to have it in your hometown is even better, because then all of our family and friends and people that don't get to travel to the places that we do, like Azerbaijan or whatnot, they can come and support us. So yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I'm Sarah Cockayne. I'm number 15. I play at the back in defence and I love being a pucker. It's a great club to be a part of, and I just hope we're all wishing for gold, and I just hope we can come together. We're such a good team. We have been for a long time, and hopefully this is our time to get the gold.
This is our second sort of training session in. Everyone's looking really sharp. We've got some new girls that's come to join us as well, and the standard's really high for this phase of the training, so it's good.
It's always awkward a little bit trying to gauge how other teams will be, because it's very much you qualified from your previous year's results. So that's got to be taken into account. But we have got a heritage. We are known as a European team now. So we should be going into it with a degree of confidence, with it being at home and with our history backing us up a little bit. So we're very confident going into it, and I think that does stand us in good stead, there's no doubt.
Do you have any special kind of routines that you do before the game?
Personally, make sure I always have the same hair tie in, providing I haven't lost it, and I've got a special exercise which I do, which hopefully will get me in the best stead for playing my rest game.
No, literally, I put my right shin pad in before my left. Oh no, one thing. I give my wedding ring in a box to Sue after the warm-up, and the days that I haven't done it, we've lost.
Before a match, I'll tend to put my kit on in the same order, but I'm quite relaxed. I like to have a laugh and a joke, and I think that's what we like to do. But personally, yeah, I'm not too uptight. I don't like to get too stressed out about it. I like to just carry on, chat to the girls, and just have a laugh and a joke, really.
And will there be plenty of pocket pies?
Oh, obviously, it's all about the pocket pies. Yeah, it's amazing actually. We've had a couple of weeks off, and I am massively craving a chicken and mushroom pie.
Okay, well, we've got sunshine here now at Loughborough University, which is a bit of a turn up for the books. I think those of us who are getting drenched to the skin this morning would perhaps have wondered whether we'd ever see sunshine again. Joe Mould is here with me. Joe Mould, former England international, former Leicester captain, president, Olympian in Atlanta, is joining me to relieve the monotony of me talking constantly, although I could if I had to, quite clearly. We're here just to give you a quick preview of the critical game in Pool B that's going on in a few minutes' time. Complutense from Madrid, Spain, against the host side Leicester. Both teams won yesterday. Complutense beat the Ukrainian side, Sumchanka, just the 1-0, whereas Leicester had a slightly more comfortable win, 2-0 over Royal Antwerp from Belgium. And Joe, you were here for that game, so thoughts on how this game might go? You saw the back end of the Spanish game, and you saw all of the Leicester game.
Well, firstly, it's a great start for Leicester to get 3 points on the board in their home tournament. A few nerves, I think, were in evidence yesterday. Perhaps should have been more than 2-0. A couple of clear-cut chances that were just mistrapped in front of goal, but they'll be happy to get the win. And I would like to think, now that the sun's out, now there are a few more partisan spectators here, that Leicester will have the edge today. But it depends how the Spanish team come out. They were quick, they were feisty, and they worked the defence of their opposition yesterday really hard. So this, I think, not only is a crucial game, but it has the potential to be a really good game. Yeah,
well, let's hope so. I think, although we tried to make the last game sound ultra exciting, it wasn't necessarily one for the purists, was it?
Well, it was the Irish team Loreto against the Belarusian team Smilovici, and I think the Smilovici team were just trying to frustrate and limit the Irish, and 3-0 flattered them perhaps. They again should have scored more, but it was a bit stop-start. At times it was a bit agricultural. I would expect a lot of skill from this game, and hopefully played at a high tempo.
Yeah. Leicester, I would imagine, as they warm up now, there's a few flickerings of nerves there. Hopefully that will get the adrenaline going, because this Complutense side are no mugs, are they?
No, they're not, and the home side, they're under pressure. You know, they know how important it is to everybody at the hockey club to do well, how important it is to English hockey for them to do well, and they're the team that are expected to perform.
Right, okay. Well, we're moments away from the start of this game. 1 minute on the clock at the minute in terms of the warm-up permitted. I believe that in a few moments there's going to be a little bit of a special event. More on that in a second or two. Key players for Leicester today?
Well, it's an interesting Leicester team. It's a very young Leicester team. In many ways, it's less than experienced one that played in the league. But they'll be looking to captain Vanessa Hawkins to lead from the front, and also Jo Hunter looked quite good yesterday. If she can get on the score sheet, that will certainly give the team a morale booster in the early stages.
And of course they were the two scorers yesterday. Jo Hunter, after a few missed penalty corners, they introduced a bit of variation, with Jo Hunter getting in to deflect over the goalkeeper, and then later the slipped pass to Vanessa Hawkins, who had injected the ball, and she played the ball into goal. So hopefully Leicester will be able to show some of that variety again today.
I also think that they'll be expecting a lot from the likes of the people who have got international honours to their name, from Kerry Whitehead, who was Kerry Williams, from Katie Long, and also from up and coming people. Josie Inverdale or Jess Hickman, they all need to play their part. It's not necessarily a team of stars, it's a team that will hopefully gel and be cohesive.
Yeah, I mean, for those who are looking down the Leicester team list and seeing some unfamiliar names, obviously there's been quite a lot of change at Leicester over the last couple of years since the days when 4 Great Britain hockey players were out there for the club. 3 of those players are no longer with Leicester, and the 4th is actually retiring this year from playing for Leicester. She's going to be player coach, I think, at St Albans, but I'm not absolutely sure of that. And that's Hannah McLeod, who won't be with the Puckers next year. But they're all getting ready now. Both of the 2 teams are getting ready, and I think one of the things that will be really nice as the 2 teams meet and greet out there on the pitch, there's something rather special going to happen for one of Leicester's players, Kerry Whitehead, formerly Kerry Williams, who I think is going to get a very special presentation in a very short time. So let's see what happens here. Leicester team and the Complutense team meet at the halfway point and walk out together onto the pitch.
Great to see the
lovely
team
sunshine,
lovely sunshine, but great to see the team in front of us. They look like they're in good spirits.
Yeah,
their morale is definitely high. They're laughing and joking. Inevitably, they're going to be nervous, but there's no evidence of nerves in a bad way at the moment.
Yeah,
so hopefully that will mean a good start. And it is really, really, really good to see a few people here watching.
Oh yes, there must be a few hundred people here, which is terrific. Up there on the banking, which I must say I was a bit worried about that earlier on, that would just become a little bit of a mudslide over there, and some over in the stand as well. So both teams face the pavilion and get ready for this match.
It's a proud moment. Not all of these people are going to get international honours, but this is going to be a proud moment playing in European hockey with your team.
And this is the moment I mentioned just now, which is that for Kerry Williams, formerly Kerry Williams, now Kerry Whitehead, has officially retired from England hockey and justifiably gets a strong round of applause and a few whoops and cheers, not only from her own teammates but the opposition as well, which is lovely, and from the crowd. Kerry, for me, is one of the great unsung players of English hockey. Certainly from a Leicester point of view, I think she has been an absolute stalwart. Once upon a time, she was an out-and-out striker, Jo, wasn't she? Quicksilver striker with good skills and a decent shot. More recently converted into a midfield role. And her work ethic, her engine is very powerful.
Indeed, and it's not as much about her skill and efforts on the pitch, it's the commitment she's shown to the club. When a lot of the England girls were put under pressure to relocate and to play their hockey as part of a centralised programme down south, she continued the commute back to Leicester, and for that she should be commended. And it also shows how important the club is to her.
Yeah, and I think, I'm not saying if you cut Kerry she'd bleed orange, but I don't think it's far off that. But they're going to have their work cut out this afternoon against this very good Complutense side. When I was commentating yesterday, I was particularly aware of the strengths of their number 20, who scored their goal for them, which is Lola Riera. So she's a powerful player, but they've got players all over the park who are effective. In midfield, Maria Paral was a busy player, but hopefully she'll be having to turn and be a little bit more on the back foot with people like Irish international Emma Ross putting under pressure, and Kerry Williams, Kerry Whitehead doing the same. One thing I was going to say was about these real youngsters that are playing for Leicester. You mentioned Jess Hickman and Josie Inverdale, and it's fantastic to see them. But we've got 3 under-18 players in the side at the moment. So you've got Pascal Massey, who apparently I was calling Pascal Murray all day yesterday, which is bizarre. But Pascal Massey, Lydia McDonnell, and Emily Kilner. And in fact, Emily Kilner starts. So you can see Emily Kilner out there at right midfield, inside right type role, and she's an awful lot of promise. Interesting to note as well that because of a niggling knee injury, Mags Rees, who played throughout the season for Leicester, is currently on the bench, and Steph Tyrrell, is starting.
Yeah, well, that was a big call yesterday, wasn't it? Reece didn't quite pass the fitness test and stepped pretty much at the last minute. And we were saying in the other game, ordinarily you have a goalkeeper as your number one choice. You don't very often switch them. But yesterday matched the opposition. She made some really good saves. That will hopefully give her confidence for today.
Yeah, definitely. And it's an interesting tournament for one of Leicester's less sung players, Sandy Yates, who is off to Australia. She and her partner are off to Australia this summer, emigrating. And so this is the sort of last time that Sandy Yates will be wearing an orange shirt this weekend.
Well, a fantastic opportunity for her and a good reward for being, again, another loyal club member. She's been in and around the fringes of the first team for a number of years, just not quite been able to make the step up. And it's great that she's here. She got some pitch time yesterday. And if Leicester medal, as indeed I hope they should, I think they should, that will be a great send-off for her.
OK, so focusing on the game then. To start with, Complutense are pressing. Yeah, a good stretch there. To retain possession. A bit of pressure from Vanessa Hawkins, and it's down the left-hand side and just tipped off by Emily Kilner there.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a good, hopefully, attacking game. Both teams know how important this game is to top the group, but topping the group in the final. So the winner of this game could be that team, and it's really important that they start well and that they score goals.
Yeah, a little bit more pressure perhaps on Complutense being a goal down effectively in terms of goal difference?
Not necessarily. They won't be going out for a draw and thinking about that. They'll just want to take the points. As I said earlier, I think the pressure actually is possibly on Leicester. They're the home side, which is expected of them.
Yes.
And they did get the better win yesterday.
OK, well, that's broken down by the Spanish. Number 10 for Spain, that's Cristina Gonzalez on the ball. And she takes them on over in that corner, and as it turns out, it's Paz Massey that brings the ball away. No, Josie Infidel, sorry, that brings the ball away. And we're going around. This is Emma Ross on the ball now, and the young lady who got the presentation earlier, Kerry Whitehead, just robbed slightly there by the lively young Spanish player, Lucia Jimenez.
Interesting though, because even though Leicester were under pressure there, and a few of those passes were perhaps a bit whitey, there was no panic.
No.
They were calm on the ball, they were composed on the ball, and they're working it out of channels and working it out of corners. And that's a good sign early on, because the easy thing would be to have a bit of a panic and to give the ball away and create unforced errors.
So Leicester building up down the right-hand side, but a little lack of communication there between young Emily Kilner and her captain Vanessa Hawkins. Saw that ball off the back line, and here it is with Complutense from the back.
There's already signs of it being a fairly end-to-end game, and both teams wanting to go out and attack, and that will make for a good spectacle.
Yes, I hope so.
I mean, what you hope for a sport with so many people that have turned up today that might not be ordinary hockey watchers is that they see a good game and they want to come back, they want to take it up, or they want to watch it again.
Yeah, Lucy Barrett caught in possession there, and it's the Spanish on the attack. They seem to have started the game slightly the stronger. Here's Sarah Cockayne, homegrown player, Sarah Cockayne, up to Ness Hawkins, who's been with Leicester for a good 10 years now. Perhaps entering the veteran category, but still effervescent and still full of running. Here's Kerry Whitehead onto the ball, cutting towards the D, and unlucky there not to get an opportunity maybe for a penalty corner, but good defending, good defending.
Well, we can already see that both teams are trying to stretch the game. Leicester, their player on the baseline that they were looking for, get the ball into those danger areas, player to ping it back and hopefully create a chance out of it.
Spanish building. Leicester just sitting back a little bit, letting them have a bit of the ball in the back two, back three, three-quarter court press, and it's resulted in a mistake by the Spanish and a turnover.
Yeah, they were playing a press there that just allowed them to have the ball, and unfortunately the Spanish team didn't manage to penetrate their press, and they get the ball away. But it's turned over very quickly. Neither team at the minute just managed to capitalise on any amount of possession.
So it's Lola Riera who scored the goal for Complutense yesterday from a penalty corner, and probability that she'll go aerial with quite a lot of the ones from the defence. She's got a good strong lift on her. Hannah Fair being told that she's brought that too far in, and Lucy Barrett on the ball looking for Kerry Whitehead maybe, yeah, and Whitehead takes a player down the base. Yeah, good speed from Whitehead, being tracked and being fouled from behind by number 8, which is Jimenez.
Just a half turn and a half drop of the shoulder there created a wrong foot in the defender and allowed her to accelerate away. And she's going to know the trade, Kerry, and she's going to hopefully use it to her advantage.
Okay, a little bit more sloppy by Leicester. Garcia, Begonia Garcia.
The amount of rain,
Spanish player then.
Sorry, the amount of rain that we've had today has really soaked the pitch, and it's a much more true surface than it was yesterday, far less bouncy, and that hopefully will mean that we'll see the highest level of skill possible from both teams.
Now there's that aerial I mentioned from Riera. It's fielded by Sarah Kane, who manages just to keep it in, but there's a good step up there from the Spanish, and a foot from Emily Kilner, and so Complutense have the ball just in Leicester 23, or no, just outside the Leicester 23.
And that makes a big difference, doesn't it, in the rules today? It means they can fire it straight in as they did there. If the ball had been the other side of the line in the 23, the defending 23, they would have had to move it 5 yards before firing it in. And the first blood, really, I guess. Yeah,
first blood to the Spanish. Leicester disputing the penalty corner. They will have to watch the power of Riera here. This will be an interesting little tester for newcomer Steph Tyrrell in goal. Well, she's a good shot stopper, so let's see how she does against Riera here. And Jo Hunter is the number 1 runner by the look of it. So in it comes, and it's a missed trap. Leicester bring it away, and that, unfortunately Kerry Whitehead couldn't keep that in possession, in play, and Begonia Garcia is on the ball. Here's Josie Inverdale keeping quite calm. Lucy Barrett, Hannah Fair to Kerry Whitehead to Emma Ross, but Emma Ross is under pressure and has given it away, and the Spanish girl, it's Emily Kilner that prevents her from getting anywhere with that. And here's Katie Long, who's just come onto the field. Katie, very speedy player, but she's robbed there by the number 18. Number 18 for Spain is Paula Arzola.
Already much quicker than the game we saw this morning. The Spanish will be disappointed with that penalty corner. They will have spent a lot of time working on set pieces, and to mistrap a ball which would give them a good opportunity will be a disappointment for their coaching staff, no doubt.
Yeah, and that's a nice pass from Hannah Fair to find Emma Ross, and skipper Ness Hawkins is robbed, but unfairly. Presumably the umpire believed that to be the back of the sticks, and Vanessa Hawkins plays sideline ball.
It's a massively different pace to the game we saw this morning. Already, even after the first 9 or 10 minutes or so, it's quick.
And I think, interestingly, both Leicester and Complutense have got full squads, so assuming they ring the changes, they should be fine in terms of fresh bodies on the pitch.
Well, it's important to both teams that they keep the tempo high, and in the modern game, although it's been in and around for a lot of years now, you can roll your substitutes. Give your key players a couple of minutes breather here and there, put them back on, and it means that tempo stays at a consistent level, and that could make it difficult for oppositions.
So Josie Inverdale has taken that, but the umpire wants it back on Hannah Fair's side of the pitch. So Hannah Fair, formerly Hannah Smith, last year married James Fair, who was former England and Great Britain goalkeeper. And Josie Inverdale finds Sarah Kane down the field from Sarah Kane, looking for Katie Long, but Katie Long can't keep it in. I mean, by Katie's standards, I think she would have been disappointed with her play yesterday. She's an ex-player.
She is, and I think her basic skills let her down a bit, but it's hard to tell how you're going to be in a game like this on such a big stage, and not a big stage in terms of international hockey, but in terms of your own club side and wanting desperately to do well. You don't want to let yourself down, don't want to let anybody else down, and she just didn't quite have the edge yesterday.
Well, let's hope she's got her edge back today, but that was just an indication that Paral is quite a strong player on the ball, the Spanish central midfielder, getting the better there of her opponent, and that's deemed to be another penalty corner.
Twice now they've put the ball in from a free hit outside the 23. Twice it's got through into the circle, hit a foot, and resulted in a penalty corner.
So this time with Katie Long on the pitch, she'll be the number 1 runner. Jo Hunter having a breather at the moment, and she's going to be calling Paz Massey off after this penalty corner. Let's see what Riera can do, because it's almost certainly going to be her on the strike. Here we go. That's hit the post.
It was a great touch, potential block from Katie Long running out, but it hit the post and Leicester have the chance to counter-attack.
And that's Emma Ross on the ball, and she's been adjudged put that high.
That's a shame. Good ball out from Sarah Cockayne.
Yeah, better control would have been potentially putting them through there, wouldn't it?
Final pass so far is just letting Leicester down a bit. They're not managing to really get out of that middle bit part of the pitch.
So that's Begonia Garcia. Great tackle from Lucy Barrett there. There's another of the youngsters, under 18 player Lydia McDonnell, and that's gone against Emma Ross. A couple of these Spanish players look quite nifty, Joe, don't they?
They do. Traditionally, Spanish teams have been feisty. They've been quick. They've been passionate in their play and worked really hard. And this club side is no exception.
Yeah. And here goes Paz Massey. She's through. Oh, that's a short corner. Paz Massey's shot.
Good save from the keeper.
Yeah, keeper did well. Parried it out onto one of her own players' feet.
The umpire did well there. Tried to play an advantage. Tried to see what would happen. The shot was only really a half shot, and she gave a penalty corner.
It took Leicester a while to get anywhere with their penalty corners yesterday. So maybe they've learnt from that. I'm sure Coach Dave Mayer will have been talking to his girls about what he wants from them on the penalty corners today. It certainly worked better when they got variety in there, variation in there yesterday, rather than just the straight strike. Jo Hunter, who scored yesterday with the deflection, isn't on the field. But this time I think that's either gone straight in from Josie Inverdale, or somebody got a touch on that.
It looked to me as though it got a touch in the middle in front of the keeper. I can't swear to it. Aged eyes. Either way, it's a great start for Leicester, and a bit, you have to say, against the run of play.
A little bit against the run of play, yeah, definitely.
Now this is where the Spanish...
I'm just going to ask Paz, Paz Massey, who got that goal? Who got that goal? Kerry Whitehead. So not only has she had a presentation today, but Kerry Whitehead is now on the score sheet, having got the deflection on that goal.
Now we'll see a test of the Spanish character. Again,
yeah.
Traditionally they're good at going forwards, but are they good at doing the work when they're behind and they need to really graft? I think that's where English sides sometimes have the better of them.
So it's back with Lola Riera. I thought she might be going to aerial that one again, but this time no. Nice skills from the full back there. That's Celia SV. That's Sanchez Valverde. Emma Ross on the ball, getting crowded. And Josie Inverdale comes away with it. This is Lydia McDonnell, one of the England under 18 girls. That's Katie Long into the D. And she's halted by a really good tackle there from the Spanish number 22. That's Estefania Perez.
The Spanish are just taking the momentum away a bit. Whereas Leicester at the minute are trying to really be frenetic in their play and increase the tempo.
Trying to play a raised tempo game, and the Spanish obviously doing everything to try to stop that from happening.
Don't want to match them at the minute.
Kerry Whitehead doing very well there, held the ball, protected it, and then found a foot And Lucy Barrett sending it across, quick transfer across the pitch to Sarah Cockayne. Cockayne coming back to Fair. Fair through to Emma Ross, who, as Emma Clark, was an Irish international for many, many years. And that's Jo Hunter on the ball. She's looking for somebody to feed this ball off to. She finds a foot.
Just outside the circle, so it's only a free hit.
And Jo Hunter's in there. Kerry Whitehead again, reverse stick. And that's a great goal! That is a great reverse stick strike from Kerry Whitehead. And I have to be honest, I didn't know she'd got a reverse stick strike like that in her locker, Jo.
Well, earlier I was saying in the other game, I'm a bit of a dinosaur. I'd prefer people to take the ball on their forehand side rather than trying to do something fancy. But that was the perfect opportunity. She had no space on the forehand side, took it on her backhand, struck it really sweetly, straight into the bottom far corner. That was a really good goal.
Okay, is that going to calm things a little for Leicester, a little bit more of a cushion?
Well, it certainly means they don't have to panic. But they can't rest on their laurels. The Spanish side are dangerous. We know they can score. We know they can score at any stage in the game and out of nothing on occasion. So Leicester need to still keep playing top-level, high-class hockey.
Lucy Barrett there, being hounded, and she does a nice little turn there to get away from the initial encroachment. And Kerry Whitehead goes back to Hannah Fair. Fair shows some skill, gets a bit of a clout. That's the second two-stick tackles there on Hannah Fair, and the umpire let her ride the first one, but the second one she was pulling that up. And that's been missed by the Spanish. That puts Katie Long in behind them. And Katie Long's pullback didn't reach Jess Hickman. Really well defended there by the Spanish player. And
that was good.
There was a big blast on the whistle there. Was there a card there? Yeah, it looks like a card there to Begonia Garcia from the Complutense side.
That circle penetration there from Katie came from a lot of pressure by the Spanish on the Leicester defenders in quite tight areas, but they worked it out. They've always got options. They've always got an orange shirt.
There's a real composure from Lucy Barrett there, wasn't there?
Definitely.
So it's with Hannah Fair, who's been a really great servant for Leicester in hockey terms. Lives in Birmingham but travels every week to play for Leicester, and her commitment is legendary.
That's one of the strengths of this team, though, and also of Leicester teams traditionally, that people are very loyal, and that does bind together a group of players.
I think when you started to play for the club, you were coming up from Bedford, weren't you, where you were at college?
Yeah, that was a long time ago now. Players now, though, are under more pressure to be elsewhere, particularly aspirations of international
Well, yes,
success.
this centralised system is an interesting dilemma for players, isn't it? But, you know, that was one of the interesting things last year when Maddie Lynch left the club. There were raised eyebrows about the fact she'd gone to Holcombe, and potentially there was money involved. But in a way, it was real loyalty from her not to go to one of Leicester's real rivals like Reading.
And we're still going to be realistic. There's more money in hockey than there used to be, but very few people are going to be able to make a living out of it. And if she gets the chance to play and to be paid for it, I don't think anybody would want to deny her that opportunity.
So that ball was hit across very firmly then by Complutense, but nothing came of it. Emma Ross off having a bit of a breather, taking some fluids on board, because it's all changed here really today, Jo, isn't it, in terms of the weather?
Yeah,
it's quite warm out there now.
The sun gods are smiling on Leicester Hockey Club at the minute.
Yeah.
It's a great crowd who are able to sit on the bench. Not necessarily a great thing for the athletes, but it does make it a much nicer spectacle.
That was one of your former pupils, Jess Hickman, there, nearly going through and getting a chance, wasn't it?
Yes, she was at Leicester Grammar School for a number of years, and I'm really pleased that she's getting this opportunity to play on this stage. She's nice and quick, and she's learned her craft.
They're going round the back. It's going to go out to Josie Inverdale. As I mentioned yesterday, Josie Inverdale has a sports presenter father, John Inverdale, But we won't hold that against her, will we?
I wonder where he is today. Oh, maybe in Paris. Yeah, I mean, she's joined the club and she's shown some loyalty, and these top level players, they've not just gone out and played for the club, they've done other things, and they've really worked hard to be a part of the wider community of Leicester Hockey Club, and that's to their credit as well.
Very much so. I mean, Josie has been one of the driving forces behind getting interest going in this tournament, particularly here at Loughborough University, which is where she does her studies. That's a long corner to Leicester. Purposeful attack, slicing off a Spanish stick and going behind. There's Katie Long on the ball.
Well, if we had the budget of a different sports broadcaster, we'd perhaps be able to give you circle penetrations and things like that. But Leicester certainly now, having started perhaps the second best team, have really upped their game.
Yeah, that was a bit sloppy though, wasn't it? Katie Long giving the ball away there to the Spanish number 13, but it's Josie Infidel that comes away with the ball. Obviously at the moment there's a few question marks being asked about the current players in the England squad. Defensively, I certainly have my doubts about a few of them, and maybe the time has come for them to have a little look at Josie Infidel, who's a very good player, isn't she?
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? You know, you can play well in a club shirt, that doesn't mean it's going to transfer naturally to international level. I'm sure if England do struggle at the World Cup, which they are at the minute, the net will need to be cast a little wider.
Yeah, at the moment it does seem to be, if you're down at that centralised programme, you're in, and if you're not, I'm afraid you're out. That was good defence there. Teamwork by Vanessa Hawkins. Vanessa Pritchard, if you're listening to this, former pupil of mine. How are you? Hope you're all right. How are the steam trains?
What the Spanish are quite good at is when they try and move up, as units.
Yeah.
And they're all playing the games a bit higher now, so they don't leave people at the back. They play quite compactly.
Go. Yeah, that one off the number 23's foot. So that's Perez, off Perez's foot. Sylvia Vasquez Perez. Katie Long having a breather.
And the Spanish quite happy to let Leicester play it around at the back and put on a half-court press. They're 2-0 down.
Yeah, I'm sure Leicester can't do this for the next 48 minutes, but
no. But
having said that,
they're looking for an error. They're looking to get in there and swoop on anything that might go badly.
And there is an error. There is an error there, and that's Jimenez onto the ball. But Lucy Barrett, who's had a very, very sound game so far, does well. And that's Paz Massey. She's pretty pacey. The youngster, the England rating girl, she plays that across far too high. That's a shame, because that was a good effort and good bit of determination coming in there.
And going back to that half-court press, as defenders, it's sometimes quite off-putting. You play the ball between you, you're almost tricked into thinking there's a gap when there isn't, and you're tempted into something that you shouldn't do, and then you give the ball away as Leicester did then. But they just need to be patient. If the Spanish aren't going to chase the game, we don't want to give it to them.
Lola Riera lifts that one again, but this time straight off the side. So Leicester are quite happy with that. Kerry Whitehead takes a breather. Emma Ross comes on.
They're certainly using their substitutes to the best of their advantage, trying to keep this tempo high, keep the Spanish team under pressure.
Good twist and turn there by Jimenez. I'm impressed by her, the young Spanish number 8. Joe, I don't know if you've noticed her yet.
With the
yellow shoes.
Yellow shoes, yeah. She's not the only one with yellow shoes, though. Quite a few of them. Where have the days gone of black hockey boots?
Where have the days gone of those black hockey boots with the little ankle things on?
On the grass.
That takes me back. But then again, I am ancient. Paz Massey is sitting on the naughty step at the moment. She's got 2 minutes on that. Obviously, some transgressed somewhere down the line. I didn't see that. I was too busy reminiscing about old-fashioned hockey boots, so I missed whatever it was that Paz Massey had done to incur the wrath of the umpire.
Good defending there again by Leicester. Nice and solid. Sarah Cockayne just getting the ball, getting a free hit, putting the ball back into play.
One of the things that Leicester have been quite good at this season and in the tournament yesterday was when they go a player down, using the opportunity. And again, they have turned it away, turned it over there. Emma Ross onto the ball. Oh, that's a terrible pass. This could be dangerous. And oh, that's a goal. That's a goal. So I was just about to praise them for the way that they deal with being down to 10, and they're punished. So
that was unfortunate there because the goal scorer was left unmarked in front of goal. Steph Tyrrell in the Leicester goal had no chance against that, really. And it was a well-taken goal, and you'd probably say it deserved a goal from the start that they had, but I'm sure Leicester will be disappointed with that.
But it shows the value of discipline, because as soon as you go down to one player off, gaps open up. And in that circumstance there, Hannah Fair tried to run out of defence, which was obviously the wrong choice given what then happened. Good dive from Paral there, trying to get that ball further down the field. Yates is beaten to it.
The key for me is when you're down to 10, you've got to keep the ball.
Yeah.
And Leicester gave the ball away there, needlessly, arguably, and gave the Spanish team a chance to counter-attack. But if you are under pressure, you keep the ball.
Okay, it's with Sarah Cockayne at the moment, and a bit of a slash from Viton there. The ball comes up.
Cockayne there has switched flanks, showing that she's quite versatile on either channel.
Yeah. Jess Hickman's over on the other side at the moment. She's playing the right defensive role. It's a bit of a long, hopeful ball. Can Katie Long get on the end of it? No. And that's just whacked off the side by Complutense. Kerry Whitehead moving down that side, that left side of the pitch, and it's a Leicester free in that bottom corner, which I'm struggling to see through the dugouts. It's Kerry Whitehead on the ball, scorer of both Leicester's goals in this game so far. It's very tight down there.
Yeah, and there's, apart from the ball carrier, there's not much movement from the other players, and sometimes you'd want to make sure that you keep the defence moving around.
Emma Ross recycles the ball. They're going to go out to the right now with Josie Inverdale. It's Jess Hickman, but Spanish player just a little bit sharper at that point in time. But wins the ball, makes Jess kick it.
All the Spanish team then in the defending half, though.
Yeah.
They know they're under pressure. They know that they need to do more to get the ball and dispossess the Leicester team.
So we're into the last 7.5 minutes now of this game. That's a good long ball up to the number 19. That's Begonia Garcia. Josie Inverdale gets a bit of a rattle from behind, but that's all right. Oh, interesting. Garcia breaks into the circle, and that's off the side, and that's going to be a Leicester ball.
The Spanish team is trying to strike. They had two high players, one on either flank, and that makes it difficult. As defenders, then you've got to make decisions. Do you mark as a zone or do you man to man? And it does cause trouble for them. So I suspect if the Spanish continues to do that, they might find that they get a bit more out of it, and they can capitalise on it.
I think once or twice, Joe, I don't know what you think, but it looks to me like Leicester haven't put enough pace on the ball to really cause problems. And they've given a short corner away. Not enough pace coming out of defence, and they've given the Spanish a chance here.
Well, they've done the legwork, haven't they? The legs have been going fairly quickly, but it's a bit naive not to put pace on the ball, particularly with the Spanish team that is keen to get back into the game to get another goal.
So let's see what happens from this. It'll almost certainly be Riera again. She hit the post with her last effort. It was deflected and hit the post. And the Spanish were into the circle.
Good save.
Good save there. and up and over.
And
So
you said,
Riera's dangerous, but
well, you said that Steph Tyrrell in the Leicester goal was a good shot stopper, and that's
Yeah.
what she did there. That's what you expect to do, a shot straight down the middle. You would expect the keeper to get it. She took it well, put it over the bar, nullifying the attack.
yeah. Well, certainly the Complutense side are no mugs, are they?
No, they're not, and we always said this was going to be the tricky game, and that perhaps potentially showing the team that was going to be competing for a gold medal, and that's how it looks at the minute. It's by far the best game of the three, or the two that we've seen already. More skillful, higher tempo.
Paral goes back. Oh, I would have said that was intimidation, however. And that's away by Sarah Cockayne.
That was well
and
watched.
Can Leicester break now?
Well watched, because that was a good deflection. That could have been a shot at target, but she took it at about waist height.
Yeah. So Vanessa Hawkins on the ball. She's having a stick taken there. The umpire's letting it go. It's Leicester on the ball again with Emma Ross. Playing out wide to Kerry Whitehead. It's down in that bottom corner again. Difficult for me to see through the dugout, but looks like the ball is still with Leicester. The Spanish seem to have it.
Again, though, having said that Leicester worked out of the corner with the defending half well earlier in the game, they need to do the same in the top half.
Yes.
They don't want to have the top half of the pitch and get nothing from it and allow the Spanish to turn them over.
That's right. So the Spanish have it at the back. It's that Lola Riera again. Doesn't go for the aerial this time.
They're quite evenly matched, aren't they?
Yes.
In many ways.
It might be about who keeps their nerve.
Spanish can blow hot and cold as well, can't they? They can be really good, and then they can drop off, and then they can be really good again. So,
whoa, that was high, wide, and handsome. But because the umpire let that go, if a Spanish player had got on the end of that in the Leicester D, it could have been quite dangerous.
And there was one in there unmarked. So,
oh, nice
let
turn
off,
back there. Joe Hunter's away. And Katie Long wins the ball. Just outside the D though, so it isn't the short corner that perhaps she was hoping for. So we're less than 3 minutes to go in this. Leicester on the ball. Oh, that's an interesting one. Came up off a Spanish stick, but interestingly it's been given their way. So it looked like that potentially was going to be a dangerous piece of play and a penalty corner for Leicester, but umpires saw that rather differently.
Well, we were saying earlier, weren't we? A lot of the game is about interpretation and about where you stand on the pitch and what you see. And love or hate the umpires, they do a good job, and you have to respect them.
Indeed.
Even if you don't agree with them always.
It's worked out here to the left to Hannah Fair. She's got support inside from Emma Ross. There's a Spanish player down on the ground.
I think at this stage, into the last 2 minutes, just Leicester need to not do anything silly. Just need to keep the ball, not give the Spanish any inkling of a half chance.
And it's Katie Long round the back. Is she going to get anything out of this? That just evades Pazmassi's stick as it was pulled back by Katie Long. Paral is up.
And again, Spanish team have got two attackers high.
Yeah, two attackers on either side. So you've got the youngster Garcia over on the far side, and this side you've got Lorenzo.
Certainly they look much more effective when they stretch the game in that way. When
do.
the ball carrier looks up, if you see a dark shirt in front of you, that's much more appealing than just seeing orange.
And that was well played by the Spanish. Nice control, but Lydia McDonald wins it back for her team, and a diving save by the Spanish girl. That's played out here. That's going to be difficult for Leicester. No, they can't reach that one. So we're under a minute to go, and Leicester will be trying very hard to make sure this doesn't come through. And they ought realistically now be able to see this one out. But
just need to keep the ball. I think I just said that. I'm starting to feel a little bit nervous now. They just need to keep their head, show their experience, and do nothing silly to get them to half time in the lead.
that's Katie Long doing just that. Composure on the ball. But I've been impressed by Complutense. They certainly aren't messing about here.
No, well, after yesterday's game, we knew they were going to be strong. We knew they'd have the ability to score goals. And we knew this was going to be a tight game, and that's so far what it's turned out to be. Leicester have edged it, though. They do deserve their lead going into the half-time, I think.
And the Spanish field that, and it starts to come down this end. It's very little time, but can they force a short corner with 3 seconds to go? No, the answer is no. So, yeah, I think there's enough questions being asked here of the host side, Joe, don't you?
Yeah, there are, but so far they're doing quite well, and they've managed to get onto the score sheet twice. And actually the first goal was against the run of play, when the Spanish team were looking as though they should really be 1-0 up. Leicester turned it around to their credit, and they've held on. But they need to remember the Spanish team are capable of scoring goals. They're capable of breaking quickly. They need to make sure they go for goal, don't sit back, don't allow them time and space.
Yeah, it's certainly not a situation where they would want to be protecting this lead. They need to add to it if they possibly can, and certainly avoid making any stupid errors. The question as to whether this pitch is now going to be watered. If it is, I think we need to get out of the way. Switch the
well, I started by saying that the heavy rain today made the pitch run much more truly, and it was much flatter. But you can see in the last 10 minutes or so, the ball's starting to bubble a bit, so it's drying out. It does need a good soak in, I think, to benefit both teams.
Certainly the Loughborough University staff are walking out onto the pitch to have a little look at it, see whether it does need some watering.
What I'm really pleased with, though, is for the crowd that have stood up, and I know the crowd aren't the most important thing. It's been a decent game.
Yes.
There's been goal chances, there's been end-to-end hockey, and that's really encouraging, and hopefully a lot of these people who might not be regular supporters of Leicester Hockey Club, or indeed any hockey club, might come out again and watch the teams play.
Okay. Well, thanks for that, Joe. Thanks for joining me for that first half. We'll give it a break there, and we'll be back with you for the start of the second half. Thank you.
We're about to move to the pitch, so if everyone standing by the metal railings, stand back away from the metal railings, and can everyone in the stands, who's in the first few rows, please exit the stands as it may get wet.
Okay, having said that we were off for half-time, just been asked to have a little look at the tweets that have been sent in relation to our coverage today, and had a nice tweet all the way from the highest pub in Africa with the hashtag home from home, and it says, Annie Whiffin this is, hey up Whiff, how you doing? Listening to the dulcet tones of Gaynor 54 while keeping up to date with Leicester Hockey from the highest pub in Africa. Hope you're having a good time in South Africa, Annie, and we miss you. See you when you get back. Katie Butler, who's a wee Scottish lady who actually plays veterans hockey for Wales with me, has put at Leicester Hockey, keep losing the feed. Come on, the puckers, bang in some more. Well, hopefully you won't lose the feed in the second half, Katie, and you can keep giving us some support. We've had one from Aideen McGee, who says it's great. Thanks at Leicester Hockey. Can you note Aideen's comments? So I'm going to have a little look further down, see if I can spot some comments from this Aideen McGee and see what she's been having to say. Let's have a look, see if I can pull her up, get onto her page. Aideen McGee, EuroHockey. Ah, right. Trying to help me out here. This is Adie McGuinness from Dublin, and she's telling me that they're pronouncing the number 14 from Loretto Hockey Club Enya in the club championships. Just thought I'd lend a hand. I'm pronouncing it Onya, and I've obviously got that wrong. So it's Enya, as in the music star. Just going back onto our home point here. That looks to be about it in terms of the tweets. Obviously some results coming through from other championships at the moment. We've got oh dear. I'm just picking up that England are 3-0 down against Australia in the men's hockey in the World Cup. And one question here: how many goals do Australia have to score before England realise they're not very good at the half-court press? Oh crikey, that's a bit harsh. However, so if you are going to tweet us, please use the hashtag EHClub14, and that will we'll pick that one up, or use the EuroHockey handle at eurohockey.org. But looking forward to picking up some more at the end of the game from you. So let's sign off there for now and have a little bit of a breather and get back with you in the second half of this very exciting game, which currently stands Leicester 2, Complutense 1. So we're back out for the second half. Both teams huddling at the moment and getting themselves ready for a very, very important 35 minutes. It's been very competitive in the first half. Leicester just shading it. Let's see what happens in this second half. They've obviously got to try and preserve this lead. And if they do that, they're putting themselves in pole position for the gold medal match tomorrow on Monday. So and it's the Spanish to get the game underway. Complutense to get the game underway. Okay, so we're underway here for the second half. And there's a high ball which Lucy Barrett fields very well. Kerry Whitehead to Emma Ross. Josie Inverdale out here to the right-hand side to Sarah Cockayne. And Cockayne's ball reaches Emma Ross. She's trying to find Jo Hunter's lead run. Doesn't quite work out, but in goes Emily Kilner, one of the youngsters. Doing a good job there. Feeding that ball wide. Katie Long. And the Spanish bring it away, but straight to Josie Inverdale. She's looking to do a little bit of damage down that end. It goes in. Jo Hunter, a bit of a push in the back from Paz Massey there. And so that's gone the way of the Spanish. Starting the second half, Joe, I see that Captain Vanessa Hawkins isn't on the pitch. I hope that's not an indication of any problem that she might have.
Hopefully not, but we talked earlier in the first half about using the substitutes and making sure they keep the tempo high. She worked really hard in the first half, and it might just be, hopefully, a well-earned breather.
Yeah. So Leicester letting the Spanish play it around in the top 23 of the pitch, which they seem to be doing relatively competently. Yesterday they ended up launching long ball, and they've done it again, and to good effect with Garcia picking that one up. And that's Paral, and Paral takes a tumble. Okay, nobody near her, so I don't know whether she was looking for a foul there, but that was just a fall. Here's Emily Kilner, and Jo Hunter now for Leicester. Hunter, a very pacey player, but she's beaten to that one, and Kilner to Ross. And White now, down that left-hand side. She sweeps a long ball out to Paz Massey, who just can't quite keep it in.
Spanish are a good side, and it is making for a good game. You can't call this at the minute. It could go either way.
Yeah.
Again, Spanish breaking there, too high forwards, looking for that long ball. Leicester are going to have to work to nullify that attack, and 2-1 scoreline is not enough of a cushion to sit back and...
It's a bit too close, isn't it?
Yeah.
Across to Lucy Barrett, who's going to... a nice bit of skill from Lucy Barrett. I thought she was coming all the way across, but...
I wonder whether she just didn't quite trap that as well as she would like and had to change her mind.
But, the Spanish step up and intercept. That's a good run from Lorenzo.
Just had her toes taken away a bit there as she
Jimenez, sorry, not Lorenzo.
strode towards the D.
And she's having a go, but Kerry Whitehead gets the challenge in. Jimenez again. It's a good challenge from Katie Long, and that's Paz Massey coming away with the ball. Very speedy young forward. Katie Long with her, and they're working together here. Massey turns, but she's looking for the foul, thinks she's fouled, but she's won it back. Well done to her. Emma Ross on the ball. And Emma Ross is robbed. So that was Paral making the steal. And Garcia hitting the ball across. And that's not far away from the Spanish number 10. The Spanish number 10 being Gonzalez.
If she'd have thrown herself at the ball then, on her nose, I think she might have had a touch there.
Potentially, yeah.
Shows how quickly...
Oh, that's a terrible pass from Josie Inverdale, unfortunately. And, that's a penalty corner. The Spanish perhaps feeling that should have been a stroke, I don't know, but it's a penalty corner given.
Just shows how quickly they can turn the game around, and how
without a doubt,
how speedily they can attack and put pressure on the Leicester goal.
So Sarah Cockayne comes up to halfway. Katie Long makes the journey back to be the #1 runner for Leicester. She had quite a long journey from being Leicester's highest forward to now being the runner at this penalty corner.
She's brave though. It's good. You want your brave players there, and
Definitely.
those with some experience as well.
So here we go. Let's hope that Leicester can keep this out, but maybe I shouldn't be being partisan. Oh, and somehow that stays out of the goal. Oh, and that's given us a penalty stroke. There's a lot of conversation going on in front of the umpire. Leicester don't think that should be a penalty stroke. They're asking the other umpire to have a conversation with the one who's given the stroke.
I think she thought it hit a foot as it was going into the goal. It certainly was a melee in front of the goal there.
Yeah.
But
So
Leicester, the reaction would suggest that they genuinely don't think it hit any of them. But
well, without the benefit of video technology, which you'd get in a top international match, so it's a bully. It's a bully on the top of the D, and Leicester escape from that one, and the Spanish will be feeling a little frustrated. It was a good effort. They really did have a go at goal there, but
she signalled a bully.
The umpire thought she saw obviously didn't happen. It's a bully because it was nobody's fault, nobody's foul. It has to go to a bully, and the Spanish win. And it's whacked across by the #8, high in the opinion of Leicester, but the umpire's decision is final on this occasion, and it's a Complutense ball just outside the hashed area. So she's having a bit of a go, at Leicester, and she's got through the first challenge, and Hannah Fair is able to stop her then with a second. Katie Long, a little bit of miscommunication there between Katie Long and Lucy Barrett.
Good that the umpires conferred for that stroke.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not necessarily a fan of video referral. I like the game to be played in its purest way, I suggest, but it's good that they conferred, and she did change her decision.
Yeah,
Brave to change it, actually.
Definitely. But again, the Spanish side is showing that they're not going to just take it lying down. They're really throwing everything at Leicester, and it'd be a real test of Leicester's resolve if they're to stay in this game. There are 2 balls on the pitch. Okay, so away goes Paral, whacks a ball in, and Emily Kilner brings it away. Here's Jo Hunter, gets her stick wrapped, but the umpire's happy with that. And Jo Hunter wins a free, knocked away by the Spanish, but they're not.
That was good play though. She brought the ball out of defence, rode a few tackles, and then put it onto her foot, making sure that the umpire definitely blew the whistle and they had the dead ball.
So from Fair out to Lucy Barrett, as the Spanish player trailed through there, and she's determined that the Spanish player there knew exactly what she was doing. She's going off for 5 minutes, as she basically left her body in the way, made sure that that ball was stopped, on that occasion being stopped with a foot. What do you think of that one, Jo?
Oh, it's hard sometimes to know whether there's intent or not, and it's down to, again, the umpire's interpretation. But this Spanish team will be wily. They'll know the tricks of the trade. They'll know what they can or can't get away with. Another day she might have got away with that, but I think in this instance the umpire was probably well within her rights to show the cards.
So Leicester have the ball relatively deep in defence. Cross from Josie Inverdale to Hannah Fair. Back to Josie Inverdale, and Leicester will perhaps be looking to draw Complutense towards them, especially as Complutense are down to just 10 players.
Well, they're playing that half-court press again, aren't they? They're letting Leicester have the ball, and Leicester have been tricked into giving it away again. And really, they just need to keep their heads. But it's off-putting. It's often, strange as it sounds, difficult just to keep the ball in those circumstances. You think there's a gap, and often there isn't.
And Lucy Barrett wins that, or doesn't she? No, she doesn't win that. So here's Jimenez on the ball. She looks dangerous every time she's on the ball.
Yeah, she does.
Gives it another wallop towards goal, and that's off Barrett. And Complutense, despite being on 10 players, are taking the battle to Leicester at the moment. And Barrett to Ross. Ross to Hawkins, who's back on the pitch now. after
Well,
a bit of a breather.
so obviously she is okay, so that's a good sign anyway.
And Katie Long escapes the clutches of her Spanish markers there, and she's away, and she's done very well there, Katie Long, in escaping from 2 players there, Joe.
I know yesterday she didn't perhaps have the best game that she's ever had, but she was solid enough, and today she's taken it up another level, really playing well and being very influential in the game.
Kerry Whitehead out to Sarah Cockayne out here on the right-hand side, who feeds Joe Hunter. And Joe Hunter's going to try and get in around the back of them. The Spanish defend well. And they have the ball. So Riera, highly likely she'll throw the aerial again. Yes, she does. That's got to be watched by Cockayne. And she's got Garcia coming onto her. Plays it inside to Whitehead. Whitehead very calm there, keeps very calm. Josie Inverdale lets it go across to Lucy Barrett. Here's Emma Ross on the ball. That's a very bad stick rattle from the Spanish, and given a short corner for a deliberate foul.
Good,
Interesting.
that's good. I think that's important that the umpire's saying, hang on a minute, we don't want any of that, don't do that again, otherwise it could be worse. So that shows good umpiring, strong umpiring.
Hang on a minute.
Hang on a minute.
Is that a technical term?
It's a Leicester term.
Right.
I was just going to say about the aerial that I think Leicester have done their homework, and Dave Mayer is one of the few coaches who seems to be mic'd up to presumably Michael Johnson somewhere on the bank.
Yeah.
But they will know from watching yesterday what the dangers are of their opposition.
Amazingly versatile chap, Michael Johnson, isn't he? 200-metre runner, 400-metre runner.
Don't
And the
think it's that
analyst
Michael
on the
Johnson.
bank. Oh, is it not? Oh, right. Emma Ross with the trap. Something wrong there from the umpire's perspective. Out too soon. That could be interesting. Yesterday, when that happened, one of the teams that it was the team that Leicester was playing yesterday. They lost a player, didn't they, from that circumstance? Ended up with just 3 on the goal line.
Goal line, yeah.
And strike from Hannah Fair, and that went through to Katie Long, who just couldn't get her feet round to get that shot in on goal.
Strong strike.
Yeah,
Good
decent
opportunity
strike.
for Leicester. They've not had very many penalty corners.
No.
So, good opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, and I thought for a minute Emma Ross was going to be given the free hit there, but it's given against her. Obviously, the Spanish tackle must have put it onto Ross's foot. Costa Riera again, a little bit of juggling. There's an aerial once more. That's gone. That's high, wide, and not so very handsome.
She's good though, because she can aerial from a dead ball, from a moving ball, going one way and sending it up the other. So that's definitely a strength of hers, and something that was very effective yesterday. Not quite so far in this game.
Hannah Fair sends it down the sideline to skipper Vanessa Hawkins, who skips through. Couple of tackles there. A lot of jeering from the crowd, who think that should have been a short corner. Deliberate foul on Hawkins.
Well, it wasn't even a stick tackle foul, was it? So obviously the umpire didn't see it in the same way that the crowd did.
And Leicester are pulled back. Obviously the umpire not satisfied with whatever it was that happened there. It goes out to Fair.
Good dummy.
Yeah, good dummy onto the leg.
Just simple cues can change what a player does. She just dropped her shoulder again, took the ball one way, wrong-footed her opponent.
Joe Hunter just laying that ball off there and onto the foot, so winning another free. And that struck Emma Ross's foot. Corral steals a few yards, but nonetheless is effective. And Leicester struggling a little bit to get back, so it's out over here. Katie Long tracking the run of Arathola, and there's enough on that to block it off. Josie Inverdale in that bottom corner. Katie Long now trusts her speed and does very well there. Lays it off to Emma Ross, gets a round of applause from the crowd. And this is a tough one for Vanessa Hawkins, but you're getting a little bit of a nudge from Perez, but she still manages to do that. That looked very sticky, and was. So Emma Ross, is she going to go back? to go forward. Yeah, it looks like it.
Good work rate though.
Yeah.
Both Kerry Whitehead and Katie Long, who we've just been saying are creating huge attacks, they're the last line of defenders there at that instance. And that sort of commitment, that sort of work rate is something that will really stand Leicester in good stead.
Hannah Fair is put under pressure there by the Spanish number 5. Spanish number 5 is Maria Viton, and Lucy Barrett has given that away. But Paral is harassed by Kerry Whitehead, who wins the ball from her. Emma Ross, back to Kerry Whitehead. They do work very well together. Back to Emma Ross again. And Paral coming back. She's a hard worker. She got one, Emma Ross got one on the hip then from Paral. And ball's played deep by Leicester, but it's back with the Spanish.
That was a couple of minutes there of sustained flowing hockey from Leicester. Up to that point, it had been a bit stop-start.
Yeah.
Which probably isn't good for either team. But I suspect it will affect the Spanish more than it affects the home side.
I think Leicester will be relieved to see the very busy Paral off for a little while. Josie Inverdale on the ball, and she's trying to launch Jess Hickman. Jess Hickman's pass to her captain is pulled up, and I think she's going to get into trouble. No, it's deemed to be just accidental.
Deemed to be umpire's interpretation again.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes you've got to play to the rules, and
well, you've always got to play to the rules, Joe.
yeah.
What kind of game have you been playing all your life?
In that sense, I'm sure Jess then knew what she was doing.
Do you think so?
Yeah, well, I would suspect so, but it just took the pressure off a bit, allowed Leicester to regroup.
And there's the dangerous youngster Garcia on the ball. Lucy Barrett coming across, but she's basically beaten Barrett. Hannah Fair under pressure, and Hannah Fair doing the sensible thing. My mantra with my young players: if in doubt, put it out.
Good solid, flat stick, took the ball, did something simple, nothing fancy to get them into trouble.
What do you think to this player though, Begonia Garcia? She's pretty good, isn't she?
She is, and she does look fairly young, but she's been very industrious, shown a lot of flair on International Redhead Day, apparently. Again, I can't believe you know a fact like that.
That's good play from Complutense, number 9. That's Celia Valverde.
Well, the umpire is indicating that she put her shoulder in and tried to push through the Spanish girl. That's why she's given the corner. It is difficult. It's been a fairly physical game at times, and sometimes that wouldn't be given.
And it's Paz Massey who's asked to come back and do the running this time. The 18-year-old. And Lola Riera has been given some advice here by Paral on the sideline. So an unfamiliar runner for Leicester. Let's see if Massey can get there. And Riera moves it onto her reverse. Falls over a little bit. Ooh, and number 23 hammers that one in, and it's another short corner.
Well, that deemed to hit it below the knee, didn't it, on the shin pad, and they blow it these days for being some sort of foot. But
some protests from Leicester, but they don't look like they're going to come to
Pascal
anything.
Massey there did really well.
She did.
The Spanish girl shaped to send it on a backhand. She blocked her off, and I thought Leicester had forced the ball out wider, but unfortunately it's another corner.
Case for perhaps saying that as she was on the deck she was obstructing?
Yes, I think so. This umpire's blown here. That's interesting.
One of the Leicester girls has been hit after the whistle went.
Yeah.
After the whistle went. That's interesting.
But what was she blown for? Was she blown because somebody broke the line here?
I don't know.
Or because somebody went into the circle too soon? Because you can't go into the circle, can you, till the ball's struck?
As a very poor umpire, I think her job is to watch circle encroachment while the other umpire is watching the injection end. So it might be that this umpire is picking up the fact that
you don't see that there, do you? You don't.
No.
You rarely see somebody being blown up for that, and it does happen quite a lot. But given another corner by the look of things, so it can't have been.
Can't have been. So it's not going to be Massey running this time, having had that blow on the hand. Let's see who's going to be their number 1 runner this time. Probably Kerry Whitehead. She's back there now.
Interestingly, all 4 wearing masks this time. Pascal Massey, when she just ran, didn't choose to wear a face mask.
So what will Riera go for this time? Very powerful drag flick on her. Oh, unfortunately, for one moment I did think that had gone into the top corner, but it went wide.
Yeah, I think Steph Tyrrell had that covered, actually. She had an outstretched left hand. It looked like she might have got to that had it been slightly to the left of the post rather than to the right.
So, Joe, we're exactly halfway through this half. Complutense pressing hard, looking strong. Hard to say which way it'll go at this point in time.
Well, it's tight again, isn't it?
But Leicester haven't done much pressing in this half, have
no,
they?
the Spanish team have got the edge, I think. They've certainly had more chances in this second half.
And there's Begonia Garcia again. A little reverse stick pass. That's Lucy Barrett.
Well watched.
Relatively calmly out here to Lydia McDonald.
Yeah, she watched that well then, because she was under pressure and difficult to take a ball in the air and then play it down onto the ground and out with some purpose, and she did that really well.
Interesting little piece of play there, because it looked to me as though Jess Hickman was actually brought down by the umpire down here on the touchline. So when McDonald was trying to play it to her, she couldn't actually get to it because the umpire was in her way.
Don't think she can give a free hit against herself though, can she?
Probably not, but she could give a bully.
But yeah, true.
So Riera, is this going to go high again? What do you think?
Well, the thing is,
the aim was
for it
to go high.
She's got an armoury of tricks, hasn't she? And she's got good disguise, so it could go high. And Leicester back off area of that, but
yeah,
it just didn't work on that occasion.
No. The fact that she's got these options. Emma Ross comes off for a breather. She did take a bit of a blow on the hip from one of the Spanish girls, so hopefully she's okay. Josie Inverdale trying to work it down this right.
That shows
pronunciation, Gonzalez.
That's very good. That's good. Good experience from Hannah Fair there, just putting it onto a foot because she didn't have many other options.
No. And Cocaine trying to get that down the line, but it's off. And the Spanish are back in possession.
And this Leicester team, it's not jam-packed full of internationals, but it's got a lot of depth and a lot of experience. And with 13 minutes to go, that's really what you need in a team. People who can make good decisions.
That's a good block by Josie Inverdale, but the Spanish have picked it up, and that's Paral. And Tyrrell make...
Oh, that was unlucky.
And that was unlucky. So there's a deflection in there, but the deflection took it just that extra bit wide.
Well, it's interesting. She shaped as though it might be a high drag flick.
Yeah.
And it was along the ground, looking for that deflection just to tip it, but it just went slightly wide of the goal. That was a good chance. Ooh, good effort.
Yeah.
And hopefully give the Leicester team a bit of confidence to keep the ball down at this end.
Another high one. Josie Inverdale gets the touch, but can only play it to the sideline, and that's Lorenzo. Good touch by Jess Hickman there. Garcia on the ball. She is a dangerous player. She's very skillful. Sandy Yates back there to make a bit of a challenge and forcing the Spanish back.
They are pressing the Spanish girls though when they get the ball, particularly in those areas. They're 3 around them straight away, 3 orange shirts, down nice and low with flat sticks, and they did force the Spanish backwards.
They did well there to get that ball down the sideline, but Jo Hunter's working back. Like you said earlier, you know, you do have to be prepared to work all over the pitch if you are a forward these days. And that's up from Ness Hawkins to Sandy Yates. Can Sandy do anything with it? No, a bit of frustration there from Sandy.
But it was a difficult ball. It was a bit of a bouncing bomb, wasn't it?
So Riera again. Leicester are all back in their half, and Riera's trying to launch that one. That's gone out to the dangerous Garcia.
Looking for a corner.
Looking for a penalty corner. Neither umpire thinks it was one. This is Jimenez looking for a foot but not finding one, and Josie Inverdale has to stay strong there and stays calm. Whoa. And Garcia just pulled back there. It's going to be a free to Leicester.
Good though, Josie Inverdale taking her time to walk the ball up. She knows that there's 9 minutes and 48 seconds left. Not to rush anything.
It's a high ball. Riera's under it. And Jo Hunter has dealt with it. Riera's down. Riera's surely obstructing her. Yes. And then the Spanish try and knock it away.
Umpire choosing not to penalise that knocking away.
That's a bad ball from Jess Hickman, unfortunately, but Josie Inverdale rescues her.
Oh, I said it was the back of her stick.
And it's 11, it's Paral, dangerous player. And she finds Kerry Whitehead's foot, so she's going to get a free hit on the hashed area. She runs straight away at Josie Inverdale, trying to get something out of it. And here goes Katie Long. So Katie Long will use her speed, finds Lydia McDonnell, and she links up with captain Vanessa Hawkins. And Leicester could really do with this ball being very much down the other end of the pitch.
This is, I think, where the Spanish could be vulnerable, though, because they're not happy, increasingly unhappy with the umpire, and that lack of focus and on what's happening actually with the ball, and perhaps on what the umpire is doing, could be to Leicester's advantage.
A bit of calm play there between Cockayne and Hannah Fair, and here's Vanessa Hawkins trying to bring it through. Linking back up with Cockayne, which is good.
Good overlap.
Yeah, Katie Long, back to Cockayne. She's holding that ball, waiting for the run of Kerry Whitehead. Kerry Whitehead is tackled, and there's a reverse stick, and Kerry Whitehead's onto it.
That was good build-up play from Leicester.
Was good build-up play.
Calm,
again,
composed.
Excellent defence by the Spanish.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic defence by the Spanish.
But for the first 10 minutes, we didn't see much of that sort of attacking play from Leicester, so that was really, really positive.
So 8 minutes to go, just under 8 minutes to go. Both teams showing real high intensity, working very, very hard. And Emma Ross is looking to come back on the pitch.
You can see though, can't you, when these girls come off and they take a breather, they're breathing heavily, they're sweating. It is hard work out there.
It certainly is. And that's come off Josie Inverdale, and Lucy Barrett's on her own back there, but she's done very well. She's done very, very well.
The Spanish number 5 there though was unmarked and behind the Leicester line. That's what I was talking about, where you have to make a decision as a defender. Do you mark zonally and hope the ball doesn't get through you?
Yeah.
Because if it does, you're in trouble. So you do take a bit of a gamble, but really those long passes shouldn't be able to penetrate that part of the pitch.
Lucy Barrett under real pressure here. She's got 2 Spanish girls. She's just holding that ball. She certainly can't do that for the next 7 minutes.
No, but she did well.
And,
she defended well there.
The Spanish have won it. It's Garcia again, and a very good touch from Josie Inverdale. And out comes Jo Hunter, looking to spread this ball wide. Katie Long's pace, surely. Go on, Katie. And lovely ball inside to Jo Hunter. And Sandy Yates is up there with Jo Hunter. Long's reached the ball. She's going to lay that back to Emma Ross. Emma Ross driving down the right-hand side. Finds a foot, and that's going to be a Leicester free just outside the D.
Do you know, Sandy Yates didn't get the ball there, but her running was fantastic because what she did was create space for the ball carrier. She took a defender with her. Decisions had to be made by defenders, and it did create a gap for the Leicester attack.
Indeed.
Sometimes I think forwards get overlooked. They don't always get the feed that they want, but some of the running off the ball is crucial.
So the Spanish have it back with Lorenzo. Hannah Fair. Hannah Fair adjudged to have fouled her there. A bit of a smile from Hannah Fair as if to say, you're joking, but the umpire certainly isn't.
Fair enough, I think. But I was just surprised the umpire didn't play the advantage.
Umpires very rarely joke, do they, Joe?
They're in a pressured situation, aren't they?
So here's Riera again on the ball. We know she's gone with high ball sometimes, but this time she spreads it across to her partner at the back, the number 9. That's Valverde.
As somebody who has a vested interest, it's quite tense now.
Yes, yes.
5.5 minutes to go. I would really like the ball to be at the other end.
Josie Inverdale working there nicely with Lucy Barrett. Again, you don't really want to see Leicester in this bottom corner, but they are protecting the ball well. But the Spanish have got it. Number 6, Clamas. Plays it across. That's a bouncing ball. That's gone off a Leicester player, and it's a Spanish free. So 5 minutes to go. And Paral does that a lot, fakes to hit, and then doesn't hit. And that's Jo Hunter who's robbed her, and Paral puts it off. So
she's been good, Jo Hunter.
She has.
She's worked really hard. She's been instrumental in all that Leicester have done, and she's also defended really well.
Cockayne has to hit that high.
But in the first game,
Yeah.
Balls that were 3 times higher than that were not pulled up. That didn't look dangerous to me.
Josie Inverdale protecting the ball well. Can she get through this number 23? No, it's given against her again. That's happening quite a lot here. That Leicester are trying to protect the ball and bring it away, and it's the Spanish who foul this time.
It's okay, they're taking their time again. Josie Inverdale walking it up. Having a scoreboard makes a big difference. They can just see what's going on and they can react accordingly.
Yeah. Normally you're just waiting for clues from your bench, aren't you? And the only real time when you definitely know the time is when both umpires signal 2 minutes to each other.
Yeah.
So Sandy Yates on a chase there, but it's a fruitless one. She's done a lot of running. Youngster from Zimbabwe, actually, who's off to Australia with her boyfriend this summer. Another aerial from Riera, the usual passage. And a spin from Peral to get it back to the number 9. Getting caught in possession, it's a Leicester ball.
You know, if I try and detach myself though, this is great. You look, there's a by hockey standards, club hockey, there's a fairly big crowd.
Yes, it's great.
And
it's fantastic.
For some of these players, they might not play in this sort of environment again. A fantastic opportunity.
Yeah. Kerry Whitehead is penalised there. Umpire deciding that she's obstructed. So it's back with Josie Inverdale. We're under 3 minutes to go. Leicester really do need to play a sensible game here. That's well won by the Spanish right back.
Spanish are really pressing now though, aren't they? They know that this time is running out as well, and as much as Leicester need to keep the ball and keep it out of trouble, the Spanish need to try and get in there and make the possession that they've had in this half really count.
Emma Ross stays strong there, wins that well. She's under a lot of pressure. The Spanish are now pressing really, really high. If Leicester can get through, the gaps will surely be in behind the Spanish defence. If they're
I think that's why they're opting to use the aerial ball more than they did.
Katie Long, that's gone to Paz Massey.
Oh, it was a good save. Good save.
The keeper did really, really well.
Really alert, really flexible down there, and took the ball off the player's stick.
Yeah. Now, if Leicester have got any sense, they'll really use this time up here with 2 minutes to go, back in their own defensive area. A lot of pressure on Lucy Barrett from Garcia, Vanessa Hawkins. I don't really want to see them taking that into that bottom corner, especially when it's their own defending bottom corner.
No, but she's in trouble there, isn't she? She's got 3 players around her and nowhere to go.
That's a bit of third-party obstruction by the Spanish there.
No half-court press anymore.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But again, I would say that perhaps that high ball is the one that might catch them out. But it's gone wide, it's gone to Hannah Fair. She's under immediate pressure. Player throws a stick in at her. It really ought to be a
good
foul.
Skills though, good skills. She kept her head, kept the ball on the end of the stick.
Nothing crazy there. And we're into 1 minute, 12 seconds to go. And it's Leicester again. You didn't say come on Leicester then, did you?
I did, yeah.
You're supposed to be completely unbiased, like me. Leicester protecting the ball through Hannah Fair. Bit of shoulder goes in from the Spanish girl, and she's there again. Fair once again protecting that ball, trying to run the clock down. Got 48 seconds to go, and it's gone the Spanish way. And I think that's going to be a card, but given the point in the game where Jo Hunter's actually getting this penalty card, so it's going to be all hands to the pump anyway. So as soon as Jo Hunter goes off, play will restart. Leicester down to 10, but the clock down to 38. That's a great touch, but it's gone wide. And surely now, with 30 seconds, Leicester will just protect this ball, not make errors, but also not give the ball away. Barrett
in some ways,
taking it into the corner.
If they're going to give it away in that corner on that far side, that's the best place to do it. They are being sensible.
They should be inviting the foul here, and they get the foul. So Lucy Barrett can bring it up. There's 8 seconds on the clock. The Spanish have done fantastically well, but it looks like their efforts are going to be in vain. And this big crowd counting down to 0. And that's a fantastic win for the host side against a very, very good Spanish outfit.
The Spanish will be disappointed. They'll feel they were unlucky, and possibly a draw would have been a fair result.
I think it probably would, but all credit to Leicester.
Well, yeah, Spanish perhaps had the better of the chances.
Yeah.
But they didn't really make them count, and they didn't really force Steph Tyrrell in the Leicester goal to make too many saves.
No.
And
there was that moment, wasn't there, when the umpire awarded a penalty stroke, when it was 2-1 to Leicester, and had that gone through, and it had actually been a penalty stroke, and they'd converted it, because I think I'd have put money on Riera there, putting a flick past Steph Tyrrell.
But then we'd be standing here saying that was terrible because Leicester were robbed because he didn't actually hit a foot. So, it's a difficult one, isn't it? But this could, with a good performance tomorrow, mean that they're playing in the gold medal match on Monday afternoon.
Definitely. But all credit to Leicester. That was a gutsy effort. Some big smiles on faces over there. Lucy Barrett having a bit of a conversation perhaps about that overturned penalty stroke with the opponent.
I think if you had to sum it up though, it was about work rate and about effort, and about those players, those key players particularly, doing the attacking work but also getting back and defending and making sure they were there and a constant presence the whole time. Played really well, really good effort.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go and try and get a word with one or two of the Leicester girls about that win. They, I'm sure, are feeling pretty jubilant. Maybe a word as well with Dave Mayer, the Leicester coach, to see how he feels about that situation. But I guess that's almost Leicester into the gold medal game.
As long as they don't do anything silly tomorrow. It's so tight, you can't say that. They've got no cushions. They have to basically win all 3 games.
They do.
But I don't think the opposition tomorrow will give them the test, the stern test that the Spanish did today.
No, I think you're right on that one. But some Chanka are no mugs either, so it'll be interesting. But what I'm going to try and do is see if we can get a quick word with any of the Leicester players. Be great if we could get a word with Kerry Whitehead, 2-goal heroine. Also given that award today, that very special award. I'm getting some messages here from my wonderful technician here, Jota Paral. Come on, Sol Paral, your family is with you from Argentina. So Paral, the central midfield player from Complutense, is Argentinian, and she certainly does show that Argentinian grit and determination. Andy Reid, the chair of the Leicestershire and Rutland Sports Board, former MP for Loughborough. Highlight of the day is the pitch is watered. I think that is a reference to the fact that it's not raining and it had to be watered. And Stuart just says, done a good 4-miler in sub-8-minute mile again. Got back in time to watch the second half of Leicester Hockey, who lead 2-1. Well, thank you for that, Stuart. I hope you'll be watching for the rest of the day and tomorrow. That's brilliant. And we've got something here from RFEH Hockey. RFE Hockey? Where's that from, do you think? It's obviously Spanish, isn't it?
Spanish, yeah.
Yeah? What's your
Vamos
Spanish
chicas.
like?
Vamos chicas.
Go girls, go girls.
Yeah.
So Vamos Chicas, yeah.
Cambridge Hockey Club there as well, tweeting as well, Gaynor.
Oh, yeah.
We've also had tweets from East Grinstead and various other ones, Newcastle Hockey Club as well throughout the day. So.
And that Cambridge Hockey Club one was particularly because Leicester's number 2 keeper, who's been playing because Mags Rees is injured, Steph Tyrrell is a Cambridge girl, and so they're obviously delighted. Steph Tyrrell winning 2-1 with 3 minutes to go against the Spanish. Fantastic. And they've tweeted the 2-1 win. Laura Myers says definitely the best game of the tournament so far, with that Leicester Hockey winning 2-1 over SPV Complutense in a thrilling end-to-end encounter. That's nice. So that's it for now, I think. But thank you for tweeting us. That's great to have these tweets either at Leicester Hockey. And now we've got Royal Antwerp coming up in the next match against Sumchanka. And I'm going to try and have a word with Kerry Whitehead in a mo. See if that's possible. Kerry scored both of the goals. Oh, okay. Right, somebody's just saying they want to talk to me and giving me the beckoning finger. Pardon? Okay. So Kerry Whitehead at the moment is being given lots of love by club sponsors and what have you. So Kerry, congratulations, fantastic. How's it feel to get that win under your belt?
Oh, it's relief. I think the last 10 minutes were a little bit stressful. I think we let them come into the game a little bit more than we should have done. But yeah, just delighted with the 5 points, and now we just go into tomorrow's game full of confidence and yeah, hopefully guarantee that we can top the table.
So you got the Ukrainian side, Samochanka, tomorrow. They're workmanlike. Perhaps they haven't got the flair of the Spanish, who, let's face it, they were a good team, weren't they?
Yeah, no, the Spanish were really good, and with the Spanish mentality, if you let them have a sniff of the game, then they really can get a roll on. I think when we were 2-0 up, we needed to just roll on, and I think the game could have been over a bit quicker. We let them back in, and then they've got a lot of spirit, a lot of individual flair and individual skill and passion, you could see at the end.
And from a Kerry Williams Whitehead point of view, 2 goals, not bad at all.
Pretty good when you get to call the corner calls, so I'm quite fortunate in that. But pleased, because up until that point my touch wasn't quite there. So yeah, I was happy that I could get on the score sheet at least and do something for the team.
Bit of anxiety when they were awarded a penalty stroke that was then overturned. What happened back there?
So she was claiming that it came off a foot off the line, but it came off Josie's stick, and you could see that from her reaction, like it was instantaneous, and she was like enraged. So it was good that the other umpire was watching and that they can confer, because that could have changed the game completely. 2-2 with 30 minutes to go, and then you don't know if panic's going to set in. We've had those times in the season where we've not overcome it, so it was really nice that we actually, from that moment, was positive and ground it out. And we could have scored a few more at the other end when we had a few counter-attacks. So.
And finally, before we get soaked, because the sprinklers are on, which is good news in many respects, the award of the photograph, the picture from England Hockey, because you've officially announced that you are retired as an international player. I'm close to tears at this point in time, actually, Kerry. Your thoughts on your time when you have played for England, when you have played for Great Britain, times that are now over?
Yeah, I kind of think, obviously, now I've had time to reflect, because I haven't played now for 2 years, and that was my choice. I needed to see what else I could do in the world, and it's quite an intense environment. I'm really proud of all the, at times now I still feel like I could play, but you have to think about your life and your career and what you want out of it, and family, friends, like you sacrifice a lot to play hockey full time, and I played until I was 26, and I still love playing now. Like most people that retire from international hockey retire full stop. So I'm glad that I still love the game, and I can still pull a few tricks out the bag. And
oh, you definitely can. And just tell me this one, please, Kerry, so I can sleep easy tonight. You're playing in the Orange next year, aren't you?
Yeah, of course I am, Gaynor.
Thank you, Kerry. You just made my day. Well done, Kerry, and you were a star today. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Gaynor.
So that was Kerry Williams Whitehead. Very humble player, Joe, isn't she?
Yes, she definitely is, and as I said at the start of the game, she's a very loyal servant to Leicester, and we're really pleased for today that she feels she plays well, that she got those 2 goals, and that she's happy going forward into tomorrow's game. If she was to
getting a bit wet here now. Come on, let's get out of the way. Quick.
If she was to get a gold medal on Monday, I'd be really pleased for her. Lots of the girls, but she's been with the club for decades now, it feels like.
Decades?
A couple of decades, maybe. Well, near enough.
Well, no, I remember encouraging her to come and join the club when she was about 13 or 14 years of age, so maybe 14 years. That's 2 decades.
Nearly, near enough. But she deserves it, and I really hope for her and the rest of the Leicester team that they play well tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Joe. We're going to take a breather now for the rest of this build-up towards the Samochanka match against Royal Antwerp, and we'll catch up with you later. Hope you're enjoying the coverage, and just great to talk to Kerry Whitehead there. You couldn't see the smiles on her face, but she's a very happy young woman. So speak to you later. Bye-bye.